As this year draws to a close, we can't help but look back at this incredible year in film and think about all the experiences that we've had. Now, for me personally, this year in specific has been probably one of the most times that I've been to the theaters probably ever. One of the years that I've been to the theater the most has probably been 2025 as a whole. Now, I do have to say that of this year, I had a total of 10 experiences in theaters. And why am I saying that right now? Because I'm about to rank the top 5 best experiences that I've had in theaters in 2025. Now, for this ranking, I will be setting a few boundaries here and there. And what are those boundaries? Well, first off, it has to be a movie that I saw, that I personally saw in theaters. Now, obviously this year we had great movies come out in theaters. We had Sinners, we had, Predator Badlands. We had all these other great films that may have been smaller that I did not go to see in theaters. So those movies will unfortunately be out of that list. Now, another boundary that I am setting for myself here is that these movies obviously were movies that I saw in theaters, but there is a small caveat to the top number 1 film of this year, which could be taken out of that spot if I go see another movie this year. And that is none other than Avatar: Fire and Ash. Now, I will preface this, I'll preface everything that I'm about to say on this one fact, that the number 1 spot could easily be taken by this film. But since I have not seen it, and by the time that I am recording this, the movie has not been out, so I have not seen it either way. But if I do see it this year, or the beginning of next year, I will say that the number 1 experience will most likely be Avatar: Fire and Ash. But as of right now, and of the experiences that I've had this year alone, Avatar: Fire and Ash is not one of those experiences. So because of that, the list will be as follows. So the top 10 films, or should I say the 10 movies that I saw in theaters this year, goes as follows. I saw Thunderbolts. I saw Megan 2.0. I saw F1. I saw Ballerina. I saw Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. I saw Jurassic World: Rebirth. Then Fantastic Four: First Steps. Then Superman. Then Tron Ares. And obviously Wicked for Good. Now, all these movies, obviously, I didn't list them in exact order as I watched them, but of those movies, I will be choosing 5 of them for my top 5 film experiences of 2025. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it was not easy. This was not an easy list to make. I was scratching my head. I was trying to figure out if I was doing the right way, if these are the exact movies that I would consider to be the top 5 films in terms of experiences that I had in theaters this year. And I'm telling you, it was a difficult call. But I will say that they are reflective of the experiences that I felt when I saw them in theaters. So in the number 5 spot, I feel like this would be an experience that not only was it special to me due to the fact that I got to meet somebody who I wanted to meet for a really long time, but also not only is it going to be memorable because of that, but because this one person is the one that got me to go see it in theaters, because otherwise I would have not seen it in theaters, and it would have not even made my top 5 list. And that movie is none other than Wicked for Good. Now, obviously, there are other films that could have taken the number 5 spot. I could have easily put Ballerina in number 5. I could have easily put Jurassic World Rebirth in number 5. But I thought Wicked for Good had that extra sizzle that I needed it to have in order for it to take the number 5 spot. And I think it's such a good movie, and it's a good time, and there are moments which are sad and a little bit dark, but there are moments in that movie that there's a lot of levity, and it's such an instant classic. I mean, honestly, there is no other way to put it that Wicked 1 and Wicked for Good are both connected in a lot of ways, but Wicked for Good is definitely going to go down as a classic going forward. People are going to refer to it as a classic, maybe 10 or 15 years from now. So there's no other way to put it other than, yeah, it deserves to be in the 5th spot. Now, number 4 comes at an interesting point because it was the first movie that kind of started this year up for me. It was the first movie that I went to see in theaters this year, and I got super excited because honestly, it was a movie that I did not expect to like. I went to see it because it was like, okay, fine. It's a movie with a bunch of characters that people are not expecting to be good, but obviously, once I saw the movie, I was very much impressed with it, and it's none other than Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts was such a good movie. And to be honest, like, it surprised me and surpassed my expectations way beyond what I expected it to be, and then obviously seeing these people come together as a team and then be considered the new Avengers, honestly, it's mind-blowing to me that this movie became as good as it was. Back when it was announced, I had no faith in it, and then when I saw it in theaters, I was like, I want to see a second one. Now I want to see a second one of the Thunderbolts, or the new Avengers as they call them. I definitely love this movie. And then obviously the after credit sequence of Thunderbolts is probably the single best after credit sequence that I have seen in probably the past maybe 7-8 years of Marvel. The best after credit sequence. So there is no other way to put it other than, yeah, Thunderbolts was awesome. Now, the number 3 spot on this list, it was difficult for me because it kind of exists on 2 planes, technically, because it kind of, one could have been in that slot or the other. So for me personally, I thought it would lean more into the side of, Marvel in this case, and F4, Fantastic Four, First Steps is definitely in the 3rd spot. And the only other one that could have taken its spot is Superman. It could have taken that spot, but I said, you know what, I'm going to give Marvel the edge here. It's because obviously, the new DC universe is still trying to get its legs in, but it's a really solid start, and considering that it would have easily been in the 3rd spot for me, is mind-blowing. But Fantastic Four, First Steps was great, introducing us to the Fantastic Four as they exist now in the MCU, understanding that there will be greater connections between them and the future of the MCU coming up, obviously with Doomsday and Secret Wars, and then giving us that little glimpse as to who is going to be the next, big bad, obviously Doctor Doom, and giving us that little tease that he is going to be in that universe and probably will be traveling into our universe, 838 MCU. So I'm really interested. I really love the family dynamic in that movie. I think it was fun. It's a great family time movie. There is no connections to the outside MCU, meaning it's a really clear and fresh movie that anybody can go and watch and not have to watch anything else in the MCU. There's no connections whatsoever. So it's a very fresh film for people to watch. And I think it was great. It was just really a fun time at the theaters. to just sit back and see this family interact with one another. There's so many funny moments in this movie, so many heartbreaking moments as well, and ultimately, it introduced us to the new Fantastic Four, which I think was so much fun. And yeah, I would say that it definitely takes the third spot in my list. Now, number 2 may come as a surprise to you. Number 2 could have been, obviously, something of a really massive budget. It could have been, maybe even Superman. It could have been, Mission Impossible. Obviously, it's not those two. It could have been, because they're those types of movies that are great. But this one's probably going to come as a surprise to you. Number 2 on my list is Tron Ares. This movie, if you are sitting in a seat in a theater and watching Tron Ares, obviously a lot of people did not go see this movie. And to me, it's upsetting to me that this movie did not do as well as it could have done, because it's such a good movie. It's a movie that has boundaries that it sets for its characters, so the stakes are high. Then you ultimately have this evolution of a character that's actually growing, that could possibly, want to become more human. It questions so many things in terms of AI and humanity, and questioning our own humanity and what makes us human. There's a lot of great questions and lore that is added to the Tron world through this film. And the visuals are amazing. And then I can't even begin to describe the soundtrack and how much it fills the theater with that soundtrack. It's probably one of the best uses of audio that I've seen in a movie in a really long time. And it feels like Nine Inch Nails just absolutely wrecked everything they touched, and wrecked in a good way, not like in a bad way, but they absolutely blew the roof off this film just with that soundtrack. And honestly, it's a movie that I would like to rewatch again. I know it's on streaming already, but I would love to rewatch it again and just have a blast with it. And yeah, it definitely deserves the second spot on my list. And now we reach the number 1 spot. The number 1 film of this year that I would say is the one that encompasses everything that makes a great movie. Everything that makes a great movie is here. Incredible audio. Incredible soundtrack. Amazing acting. A story that leaves you absolutely engaged. Excitement that just runs through your body. And obviously, all of these things apply to Tron Ares in a big way, but I feel like this one movie is up there with probably one of the great films of 2025, and dare I say it, I would say it's in the top 5 best films of 2025. Even if I have to say that, like, I'm talking about my experiences in theaters, but this movie would probably be within the top 5 greatest films of 2025, apart from my own experiences. And that movie is F1. This movie is none other than the movie that kept me on the edge of my seat the entire time that the movie was playing. The cinematography that is in this movie is chef's kiss beautiful. You have the production power of Jerry Bruckheimer, in this movie. And then you have Joseph Kosinski as well directing this movie. I mean, there's no other word to describe the feeling that this movie gave me other than absolute elation. Like, I am floored every time that I think about the experience that I had with F1. You know, my heart was racing. Like, no pun intended, was literally racing. Like, it was pumping every single time that I was seeing those cars on the track. Everything felt real and tangible. It felt like, I don't know if it was in fact Brad Pitt driving those F1 cars, but I am telling you, my heart was racing watching that happen. The races are amazing, the soundtrack is amazing, everything is just happening at a really fast pace. I feel like this movie has no downtime. Like, there are moments where they give you little breathers throughout the film where you're like, oh, we're going to see him develop a relationship, or we're going to see him having a conversation with Damson Idris. We're going to see, the evolution of this relationship that we see between, Sonny and, his coordinator, which, Javier Bardem absolutely blew everybody away and truly made everybody believe that he was one of these like F1 directors. Man, honestly, one of the best movies of this year, if not probably one of the best movies in the past maybe 5 years, I would say. I mean, mind you, it's Joseph Kosinski, so I mean, he directed Top Gun Maverick, which is dare I say it, damn near perfect movie, but I would say that this is up there with one of the best movies in the past 5 years. I absolutely love this film. It's got everything that I absolutely love about movies, and honestly, I could go on for hours just saying, I love this movie, I love this movie, I love this movie, but I'm going to spare you guys the love fest. F1 is easily the best film experience that I had in theaters this year. And obviously, those are my thoughts on those films that I had those experiences with. I am going to put up the list right next to my head here. These are the top 5 films I had this year. And honestly, it is not bashing on any of the other films I watched this year either. Yeah, I watched Megan 2.0 and I had a lot of fun with it. I watched Ballerina, and that movie will forever be special to me because I got to see it in theater with my parents on my birthday. So yeah, that movie is definitely special to me. Of course, I saw Jurassic World Rebirth, and it has one of my favorite directors, directing this film. Honestly, like, all these movies are great, but when it comes down to the overall package, those are the top 5 films of this year that really round out that package for me, and I couldn't have it any other way. Now, as a reminder, this list could possibly change, and honestly, I'm more than expecting it to change, because if I go to see Avatar Fire and Ash, this list, F1 could easily be bumped down to number 2. So, fingers crossed, I have not seen it yet in theaters, but it could easily bump F1 down to the 2nd spot, and then Tron, and then Fantastic Four, and then Thunderbolts. So, just saying. But yeah, those are the top 5 films for me this year. And I want to hear from you. What do you guys think? Do you think this list was correct? Do you think that I was way off? Did you see films in theaters that I did not see in theaters? And possibly your list will probably be way different than mine. And I want to hear from you what your list is. I want to hear what your top 5 films of this year are down in the comments below. And while you're down there, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell to be notified when new videos go live on this channel. Now, before I end this video, I want to wish every single one of you a happy holidays. I want to wish every single one of you a happy new year. I hope that 2026 brings you joy, brings you laughter, happiness. I hope 2026 fills you with creativity that maybe you could possibly go out there and make your own films or even start your own channels and be inspired by the moments that 2025 gave us in the world of cinema. I would say that this right now is the final video of 2025 on my channel, and that you will probably be seeing me somewhere around the second or third week of January when I come back for another incredible year of the movie Savant. So thank you so much of your patience. Thank you so much for being here. This incredible cinematic year that we had, and for watching my videos. And if you haven't already seen my videos, go back and watch them. Go watch all my thoughts videos and my, ideas that I came up with throughout this year, talking about AI, or was it talking about, other smaller films that did not get the attention that they deserved. But definitely, I had a blast doing these videos for you, and I will be back for 2026. So thank you so much for watching, and have a happy holidays and a happy new year, and I'll see you in 2026.
Scrolling through YouTube, same old routine, then bam, movie Savant, what a scene. Trivia bombshells dropping knowledge like rain. Forget the dishes, gotta watch it again. Movie buffs unite, Savant's the place. Subscribe and hit the bell, don't leave a trace. Next level knowledge keeps you in the loop. Savant's got the scoop, ain't nothing to recoup.